Hey, 12 Stone, welcome to Family Devotion. It's Wednesday night. We're really glad you're joining us tonight. Hey, this is the night our high school ministry leads out for Family Devotion. We got a treat tonight. Sanders Poe, one of our high school pastors, is teaching on the book of James, specifically how do we deal with time? How do we redeem the time? How do we plan well and think about tomorrow? Because we do not know what it's going to bring, especially in these days, correct? So anyway, gather your family or roommate or whoever's with you and just really enjoy kind of getting into the book of James tonight.
Hey guys, my name is Sanders and I'm the high school pastor at our Hamilton Mill campus. Welcome to my back porch. I got my wife filming. Say hey, babe.
Hey guys.
And I am excited to continue in this journey in James chapter 4. If you've been paying attention on Sunday mornings, you know that we've been in the book of James as well as in our student ministry. And so we're picking up in James chapter 4 tonight. Before we jump in, I do have a question. How many of you have ever tried to plan something that did not go the way you thought it would because you did not check with the people that are actually in authority, the people that actually had the control, like your parents? I don't know about you, but for me, that happened all the time when I was in high school. I'd make all these big, elaborate plans, and I never checked in with my parents, and I told them about it, and they shot it down. One time was when it was my junior year, and we were planning an after party for our prom, and I was so excited because it fell on my birthday, and it was going to be so much fun, but you don't want to party with your parents because I didn't want to do it at my house. But I went and told my parents about it, and they were like, no, if you're gonna have an after party, you're gonna do it at our house. And at first I was like, dang, all right. But I realized in that moment that the reason that the plans didn't work out was because I didn't go to the people that were actually in charge. I did not go to my parents who ultimately had the authority. And see, James actually talks a little bit about this when he's talking about our relationship with our Heavenly Father. And he says this in James chapter 4, verses 13 through 17. And we're gonna read it together. It says, "Come now, you who say, today or tomorrow we'll go into such and such a town and spend a year there and trade and make a profit. Yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Instead you ought to say," and pay attention to these next four words, "If the Lord wills, we will live and do this or that. As it is, you boast in your arrogance. All such boasting is evil. So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is sin." And see, those four words are key words, if the Lord wills, because what those four words do is they surrender over control to the one that is ultimately in charge. They give control to our Heavenly Father. You see, because oftentimes we try to take control of our own life and we try to plan everything and how it's going to go, but we have to recognize that Jesus is ultimately in charge. Just like when I was trying to plan the prom after party, I thought I could make all the decisions, but ultimately I had to realize that my parents were in charge. They were the ones with the control. And see, the fact that we aren't in charge of how our future goes and the fact that we aren't in charge of ultimately what our plans become is a good thing. It's a good thing that we don't have the final say. God does. It's a good thing that He is in charge because it always works out better when God is in the driver's seat. Because when we try to plan things, it oftentimes doesn't go the way that we planned it. If you don't believe me, you can talk to any of the graduating seniors who just graduated, which, by the way, shout out to y'all. We love you guys. But none of them saw their graduation going like this 6 months ago. But things don't always go as we plan. But when we go to the one that's in charge, the one that's in control, He ultimately always has the best plan for us. And I want to wrap up with this thought. I don't think what James is saying here is that every little tiny decision that we make needs to be this thing where if you're trying to decide what color socks you're going to wear in the morning, you don't need to get down on your hands and knees and beg God for clarity. Is it brown or is it black? I don't know what color socks to wear. Or if you're trying to decide where you're going to go to dinner that night, you don't need to, I don't think you need to spend 6 hours in your prayer room trying to decide what that decision's going to be. I think what James is talking about is that when it comes to big life decisions, who are you going to be? What do you want to become? Where are you going to go to school? What are you going to achieve? When you make plans like that, always check in with your Heavenly Father, because we have to remember He's the one that's in charge. And as Christians, we have given over control of our life. We have given over our purpose, and we have decided to live for God's purpose under His lordship. And so if you're a high school student, you're about to jump into your community groups, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about what these thoughts look like. And in order to do that, I want you to talk about two questions. The first one is, what big plans have I made for my life without going to the one who's actually in charge of it? And the second question is, what is my answer if God's plans are different than my own? My hope would be that your answer would be, Lord, I'm going to be and subject to what your plans are. But I think oftentimes that can be much harder to do than it is to say. And so you guys are going to talk about that in your community groups. And by the way, my prom after party, we ended up having it at my parents' house. And I got to tell you, it was so much better than I ever could have planned it to be. And oftentimes that's what happens when we listen to the one who's actually in charge. And so I love you guys. If you have questions about how to get connected in your community group, then please DM this account, or you can email us at students@12stone.com, and we would love to get connected with you guys. But we'll see you later.